As a musician that grew up in the country, I think it's great to see in Australia now some of the most exciting new artists and performers aren't the ones being groomed in our big cities like Melbourne or Sydney. They're in tiny communities here in far north Queensland. They're living in a place where their art, their country and their culture are all connected. Far north Queensland, more than 1,000 kilometres from the tourist town of Cairns to the Gulf and the Pacific Ocean islands of the Torres Strait, and in between, dozens of distinctive Indigenous communities. From these often isolated areas, some of Australia's most important contemporary Indigenous and Torres Strait artists have emerged. National award winners like Dennis Nona, Alec Depody and Rosella Namok, along with many more acclaimed performers and musicians. But it's the next generation of artists the Queensland Government hopes to nurture now, with an impressive program called Backing Indigenous Arts. Backing Indigenous Arts will support everything from dance and visual arts and theatre to music and writing and digital storytelling. And it will work closely with the Queensland Indigenous Arts Marketing and Export Agency to take the best art from this region to the rest of the world. Aboriginal people have a strong spiritual connection to their environment and their homeland, country we call it. So Indigenous art will reflect the artist's own country. Here in far north Queensland, that's the land and the sea, and the myths and stories from this unique part of the world.
I come from there, from another side.
You won't find this kind of art anywhere else around the globe. The shields that Atherton tableland artist Michael Anning is making revive the ancient tradition of his rainforest ancestors. And Billy Missy's lino prints tell in a contemporary way the stories and legends from his Torres Strait Island heritage. Billy's work has a real Melanesian influence. It speaks about where he's from, and that's why it's important to support art centres in far north Queensland to keep them active and sustainable.
But I say, hey, where you from, my brother?
Billy is a founder of the Moa Island Arts Centre. It is one of the 15 arts centres and hubs in far north Queensland that will receive funding, along with other places like Arakoon and Lockhart River, Yarrabah and Errab Island. Backing Indigenous arts grants will help with everything from training and business planning to equipment and staff.
Where you from, my brother?
This support is welcomed by artists like the Lockhart River Gang's Fiona Emilio. She sees her country's arts centre as a welcoming space for all generations to meet, and it's also been the launch pad for her successful international career.
I find the art centre up in Lockhart, it's where everybody get together and it's like a little gossip place. It just brings happiness and stories.
But I say, hey, where you from, my brother?
In partnership with the Tropical North Queensland TAFE in Cairns, Backing Indigenous Arts will run mentoring programs. Key artists will work with students across a range of art forms, including contemporary and Indigenous dance and printmaking. And this, in action, is what building skills and opportunities is all about.
Enabling Indigenous artists to share their stories, their skills and their knowledge with other artists and with the wider community. And to build on those skills by engaging with education and training institutions, such as Education Queensland and the training institutions across the state.
Building skills and opportunities will back a variety of things from youth programs and writing to digital storytelling, festivals and cultural tourism. So, Orion, can you tell me a little bit about the important features of this lino cut that you're doing today?
This work is actually based on a navigation by the stars, and also the fact that I'm a saltwater man and that it has elements which relate to the reef and the saltwater as well.
Laura-born painter and sculptor, Aron Meeks is considered a pioneer in large-scale printmaking. His work has helped spark a new wave in Indigenous art, which is making national and international stars out of the Torres Strait Islander artists who are interpreting their Dreamtime stories in lino cuts. People like Dennis Nona and Brian Robinson are leaders in this contemporary movement.
These artists from far north Queensland are the leading artists in this printmaking art form of lino cutting and on etchings as well, and their exhibitions are travelling across Australia, and there's many exhibitions scheduled to travel overseas through the States and Europe in the next 12 months.
In a small backroom studio of the Kick Arts Gallery in Cairns, many of these astonishing lino cuts are being crafted. But thanks to BIA funding, a new dedicated printmaking facility will be built, giving better space, resources and marketing support to both fledgling and established printmakers.
The printmaking facility in Cairns is incredibly important. There is no access to mainstream printmaking facilities here. Its location to all the communities is just fantastic, and the need for printmaking has grown tremendously over the last couple of years.
There's a growing national and international demand for Indigenous arts, so BIA's Indigenous Arts Marketplace will build artist profiles in partnership with government and local business and communities. With a complementary arts festival to run alongside, the Indigenous Arts Marketplace could well become another of the North's great tourist attractions, getting the message to the world about the wonderful Indigenous art from far North Queensland.